Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is in your part of the world. It's 10 a.m. in the morning on Wednesday, July 3rd here in the Philippines. Make that 10 p.m. in New York time on Tuesday night, July 2nd. Today we're doing another Love Tip live because it's a live video right now. And we take about 5 to 10 minutes and we talk about a topic regarding love that could help you in your life to have more love in your life. This is a practical tip that can be applied by anyone, anytime. If we want to have love as our center, if we want to have love as our reference, if we want to have love as the foundation in our life, it helps us to understand love and have a more loving life. And I haven't seen anything anywhere near that approaches the efficacy, the reliability, the soundness of having love as your foundation, as opposed to all the other possible foundations that people come up with in their lives. Today we're going to talk about nurturing, because nurturing is such an important part of love. There are about 70 qualities that we define for love, about 70 different aspects that you could say, okay, this thing is an example of love. For example, some of the more popular ones that we know about would be compassion, consideration, respect, kindness. And today this one is going to be about nurturing. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about nurturing. What is nurturing? When I think about nurturing, I think about two different examples. I think about one example, and that is of a mother with a baby. And a mother with a baby, especially if she's breastfeeding the baby, there's a real sense of nourishment. There's a kindness, a warmth. There's safety. There's encouragement to the baby. The baby wants to play with something. You give the baby something as long as it's safe. Give the baby something to play with. Give the baby instruction as they get older. Learn their ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s, things like that. Teach them about heights and how it's dangerous not to play on the stairs, or how it's dangerous to touch something hot or to walk into traffic. These basic things, these are all aspects of nurturing, helping someone to grow, helping someone to be safe, protecting, empowering, watching over. These are aspects, these are qualities of nurturing. What about something besides a baby? Can we nurture? Yeah, we can nurture a plant. If you're going to grow a plant from a seed, for example, or a seedling, you make sure that the soil is not too acidic, or the soil is has a lot of nourishment in the soil. You make sure that this little seedling is planted not too deep in the soil and not too much on the surface, not too shallow, depending upon the kind of seed that it is. Part of nurturing is knowing what kind of a seed, or what kind of a person, or what kind of a situation you're dealing with, so that you can apply the proper nurturing to whatever it is that you want to nurture. So that's one aspect when you think about nurturing. Think about what's going to be appropriate. And so we make sure that the seedling has enough water. We make sure the seedling has enough sun, but not too much sun. We make sure that the seedling isn't somewhere where it's going to get trampled on, where it's going to get broken, run over, maybe eaten by insects, or eaten by a rabbit. So these are all aspects. The key aspects of nurturing are nourishment in the form of food and water, and the safety, and then environment. So it's about the environment. What are the things that this particular thing needs to grow big and strong? How about nurturing ourselves? Do we think about nurturing ourselves? There is some talk in pipe psychology about, healing the child within, things like that. That touches on it. If we use the nurturing love model, we're going to hit it a lot more, a better bullseye when it comes to that, because not only do we listen, not only do we honor the child, but I'm not a child anymore. So if I picture myself as a child, it's not completely appropriate. It's not exactly on target. But if I picture myself as a human being, as an adult, that also needs nurturing, whatever it is. Maybe I've decided at this late period in my life, that I want to start up watercolor painting. because I'll find that as something that's going to be fun, interesting, a nice hobby. How am I going to nurture that? How am I going to nurture myself when it comes to the watercolors? Well, I guess, there's several things I can do, but what would it be? Nourishment. Get the paints, get the canvas. Find some mentorship. Find someone exclusive, find someone exterior to me, someone outside of me that can maybe give me some instruction. Find some YouTube videos or find some group that is doing arts and crafts. Go to a gallery that might have water painting. There are a lot of things I can do to nurture myself through nurturing my interest in picking up this new hobby of watercolors, painting watercolor pictures. This is the way that we can nurture ourselves. Another way we can do it is by eating right, eating healthy food. Think about what you put in your mouth. Think about the people that are around you. Are they encouraging you? Are they empowering you? Are they nurturing type of people who look out for your well-being? Or are they people that shoot you down and say, no, you can't do that, or no, you shouldn't do that, or look at how stupid your hair looks today? Whatever it might be, when we think about nurturing ourselves in general, we think about where we want to live, what climate works best for us, what kind of a home works best for us, what's too big, what's too small, what kind of a car seems right for us if we have a car or a bicycle or a motorbike, what kind of friends, what kind of job. All of these things encompass nurturing that help us to thrive. So if it's not a matter of growing up from a seedling, but if we're more of a mature oak, a mature tree, and we can also just look at, well, what's going to help us thrive? What's going to help us stay strong? What's going to help us bear fruit, whatever fruit that is we want to bear in our lives, whether it's contribution to others in community, or whether it's earning money for our retirement or taking care of our kids, or whatever that might be. What's going to nurture us, make us strong, empower us so that we're able to serve others? And finally, how do we nurture another person? Well, you've got to know who they are and what they want. If they want to do something like watercolors, how do you encourage that? Do you buy them for their birthday some watercolors? Maybe they talked about it. They said, oh, I really want to do that. I've always wanted to do that. But as soon as I get this promotion, or as soon as we move to the new house, or so blah, blah, blah. A lot of times people will put things off, and that's not part of nurturing at all. Usually not part of nurturing. Putting things off indefinitely, especially if it's a trip to Rome that they've always wanted to do, or something as simple as watercolors that you could easily start now in some little way, as opposed to putting it off and saying, no, I can't do anything that's going to nurture me until this point in time. That's rarely, it could possibly work, but rarely that's the way to handle it. The best way to handle it is let's just start now to some degree, to some extent. And if you do want to do more singing karaoke, you could start this Saturday. Put it on your calendar. I'm gonna go sing because I love to sing. You don't wait until whatever time, some crazy future date to put off when you're going to really nurture yourself and when you're going to nurture somebody else. These are things that we can do every day, all the time, everywhere. Nurturing is such a basic aspect of life. Once we understand nurturing, we're able to live a more powerful life, and it's a key quality of love that helps us to live in the love zone, to have a happier life, to have a joyful life, and especially to have a more meaningful life. Nurturing is really significant. It's one of the top 10, maybe top 5 qualities of love that once we understand this and once we practice this, and we can apply this to ourselves, apply this to others, apply this to the earth, apply this to our children, apply it to, even our home. How do you nurture your home? Well, you keep it clean, you keep it well organized, you keep it maintenance, you make sure that the cracks in the walls are fixed, or the windows are replaced, or whatever, the roof needs to be replaced. There's ways that we can nurture everything in our lives, and it's a very really excellent thing to understand, and it's a key aspect of love. Nurturing. Okay, so that's been it for today. Thanks so much for listening. I hope your life is filled with love. I love you. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Take care. Bye-bye.